Welcome to the More Than Just a Doctor podcast. I'm your host, Lil Surprenant MD. I'm a life coach for physicians, a practicing hospitalist, a wife, a mom of 2 boys, a reader, a dancer, a dolphin enthusiast, and all the things. Just like me, you're more than just a doctor, and that's what we're going to talk about each week. Doctor stuff, regular life stuff, and all the things that make life rich and interesting. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get started. Hello, friends. Thank you for joining me today for episode number 22 of More Than Just a Doctor. I'm your host, Lil Surprenant, and this is going to be another short and sweet episode. And today I'm talking about watching your language. I am not talking about watching those F-bombs, because if you listen, you know I like an F-bomb. In fact, I was telling one of my partners at work on Monday that if you want to sell a book to me, you put the word fuck in the title and I'm pretty much guaranteed to buy it. So this is not about watching the 4-letter words. This episode is about watching the language you use, and particularly around work. So some of the language that we use in medicine, I think is very helpful to some people. It's very engaging, very inspiring. And to others of us, it's off-putting, nails on a chalkboard, pukey. This is me. So what inspired this episode today is last week I said in my podcast that I hate the word journey. When you were talking about like weight loss journey, journey to health or whatever, journey in that way, hate it. And my friend Beth today texted me and was like, thank you for also hating journey. So it reminded me of how important language is, the language we use, and the language sometimes that we surround ourselves with or that we're surrounded by cannot jive with us, and we don't have to use it. So the language that we use for ourselves is the most important thing we have in crafting the experience we have of the life we're moving through. And by that, I mean, you going through your day at the hospital, same patients, the same pages, the same pace of the day can feel very different depending on how you talk to yourself about it. So thinking about specifically about the language of medicine, I know that for some people, the inspirational language of calling, patients always come first, team, all this sort of like flowery language of helping. Some people find that inspiring. I really hate that sort of language. I really personally don't like a lot of, to me, that's sort of sappy. And if you want me to get disgruntled, you call me like, one of the more popular phrases now is like, have a service heart. Okay, I fucking hate that. I might have a service heart. I don't know. I really don't think so, but I want to call it that. If you call it that, it makes me not want to do it. It's funny. The same language for medicine also gets like plopped onto life coaching and all the sort of quote helping industries. And I actually hate it for coaching too. So, and that's fine. Like it can be good for you and bad for me. But what I want to offer for you is if you don't like the language that you're hearing about your work, you get to change it. So I want to offer some of the alternatives. So for me, I like to think about work, specifically like work at the hospital or doctor work. I do much better if I think of it in sort of practical, muscular is a word I use. I like that comes to mind for me. Like I like to think, sometimes I like to think, this is work that needs to be done. So it may as well be done by me. Like I find that helpful and not treacly, that overly sweet. This is muscular work. This is necessary work. Those are the kinds of things and the flavor of language that I like to use. You definitely may have a whole nother flavor. You can have like a fun narrative or an interesting narrative. Like I also like really more for other types of work, like creative work. I love the language. I love interesting. Like that's a word that resonates with me. I really like to be interested, engaged. So to call something interesting work or an interesting problem is helpful for me. So that might be helpful for you. Practical is a word I love around work. Like I love to think of myself as a practical person, pragmatic. I love to think of myself as a practical doctor. I think of the work I do as a hospitalist. I feel like my number one job is to answer the question, what is wrong and what to do about it, which I consider like very practical, pragmatic language, and sort of has that like everyday undertone that I respond to. So what I'm going to invite you all to do is just notice the language you have about work and what feels good to you, what feels annoying, and just it's all optional. Just because on the wall, when you come in the hospital, it says our hearts and minds are, whatever, exploding with joy to take care of your ischemic foot. Like just because it says that on the door doesn't mean you have to parrot that language. And more importantly, you don't have to feel bad if that language doesn't resonate with you. So just notice, what is the language that's around you? Do you like it? If you like it, use more of it, like use it on purpose. Use that language to inspire you, to make the day feel more meaningful, engaging. But if it's not, find your own language and use that. So I'd be so curious. So text me, email me, come up to me at the hospital if you have words, language around work that you really hate to hear. Most people have pet peeves. Or if you have language that you really love to hear. I would also love to hear if you totally disagree with me and you love the inspirational language, because really, really, to each his own. All right, that is what I have for you this week. Pretty short and sweet. So I will see you guys next week. Bye. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you like this episode, you're going to love working with me directly. Sign up for email updates from me in the show notes. I'll send you a fun email every week called Friday Favorites. Everyone loves it. Or if you're ready to get started creating your rich and interesting life, book a free consultation with me to explore working together one-on-one. I can't wait to meet you. You'll find these links and other resources in the show notes. See you next week.